It is Monday morning, and for me it's a good Monday morning because I've already been in the mountain, been running, and for me that is such a privilege, to count your blessings, just to be out there in the nature and to, if you can't run, you can walk, and just to talk with God and to spend time with Him is for me just one of the greatest blessings. There was a time that we couldn't even leave the house with Aldous. So now when we have some time to just quickly go, and I just thank the Lord for tiny little privileges in our lives. So I'm reading today about the mystery of the bride. And many things about God's kingdom, He calls it a mystery. Because when you just look with your eyes, your physical eyes, you can't see it. But you see, the spirit of man also have senses. And when you look through that spirit, you will start seeing that life differently. And even this is why God says there's a spiritual garden, there's a spiritual DNA, there's a spiritual destiny, there's a spiritual inheritance that we are preparing even and leaving behind for our children. So in this realm of the spirit, God created, He gave us a spirit to connect with Him in the realm of the spirit. We have the ability to do that. Now, one thing that your spirit also will have is a yearning to be one with God. Everybody's spirit have that. And now He's talking, He says, He was journeying to the city and He stopped near a hill. "Look," said the teacher, pointing to an event at the city edge. "It looks like a wedding," I replied, "or a preparation for a wedding. The bride is in a white gown, and she was standing in a garden with her bridesmaids." You're watching a cosmic mystery, the shadow of the mystery. Many times in life, we walk through the shadows of what is to come and what is waiting for us. And this is part of the feasts. We rehearse of what is coming. This is why God gave it to us. He says, it is a love story, or was meant to be a love story. The bride is a picture of what each were created to be. You see, within our spirit, we were created to be the bride of Christ. So we all will have that yearning within us. I don't understand. We were each created to be the bride. That's why we can never be complete in ourselves. That's why, deep, deep down in the center of your being, in your spirit, in the deepest part of your heart, we seek to be filled. For the bride is made to be married. So we can never find our completion until we are joined to Him, who is beyond us. And that is why we will go through our lives trying to join ourselves. We will try to fill that gap with many, many things. Even in my life, I've tried to fill that gap with so many things in my life. I've even tried to be, and I achieved that being Mrs. South Africa. And at the end of the day, when I put that crown on, it didn't take the whole away. Nothing that you can do. You can have as much money. You can live wherever you want. You can drive whatever car. But if that hole is not filled and you're not one with Him, you will forever, ever have that yearning and that hole in your heart. He says, so how do I join it to myself? To that which we think fill the longing of your heart. It can be people. It can be success, like I just told you. It can be possessions, achievements, money, comfort, acceptance, beauty, romance, family, power, a movement, a specific goal, many multitudes of things. And I'm very sure you listen to me today and you can agree with me. If I do this, I'll be happy. If I do this, I'll be happy. If I just lift the bar, I'll be happy. You can have whatever you have in life, but if that part of your heart is not being filled with Christ, you will forever, ever have that yearning, and you will forever run trying to catch a train, and you will never be able to catch that train. For the bride was created to be married, and she can never rest until she is. So none of these things can ever work. No, because none of these things are the bridegroom. And who is the bridegroom? The bridegroom is God, the one for whom we were created. So we have to find him. Yes. More than that, he said. The bride doesn't just find the bridegroom. Listen to this. She marries him. So it's not enough to find God. You must marry him. What does that mean? I give my whole life to you. I surrender everything in your hand. We become one. I'm in him and him in me. So how? Joining every part of your life and being your deepest parts, your heart, your soul, even your wounds, your longings, your desires, everything you give to God. And only then you can be complete. Only then your deepest needs and longings will be fulfilled. For the mystery of the heart is the mystery of the bride. And the bride can only find her completion in the bridegroom. And the bridegroom of our souls, his name is Jesus Christ, God our Father. This is the story of our lives. And you know, this is the reason why I want to prepare my garden for him. Like Jeremiah said, prepare a highway for the king. Where? In my heart. I want to prepare a place for the king to come. I want to prepare a place for him to be with me, to stay with me, to be one with me. I'm in him and him in me. So he prepared a place for me where I can sit with him in heavenly places, where we will be one. But he also wanted for me to prepare a place in my heart so that kingdom can come to earth. Everything that is there, he wants for me to come to earth and be one with me. So how does my garden look like? This is why people ask me, Retah, why do you always want to clean up there? This is why. Because I cannot expect the king to live where there's chaos. I can't expect him. I invite him in. He helps me there. But I need to clean it up. As much room, as much he will be there. He will not reign in chaos. Chaos reign. You need to get the chaos out. We need to get order in. We need to get the king in. We need to get the Spirit of God in to lead us. So put away the things that are substitute for his presence. Substitutes that fills us. And you know, I always speak about the duality. This kingdom, only God can feed us there and bring satisfaction. And this kingdom, the world, feeds us. And there are some things that keep on feeding this parts of our hearts that are stuck there. It can be anything. It can be food. It can be no food. It can be sickness. It can be alcohol. It can be drugs. It can be anything. But if you have a part in this kingdom, it's going to be fed by the world through an addiction, and it makes you a slave. And God says, I don't want that. I came so that you can be a son. So let's clean up this garden so that you can become a son. I don't think there's a greater gift in life being called the bride of Christ, a son of God. Where it doesn't matter what we face in life, nothing can compare with that. Nothing. And even if it's difficult times, it's still a joy with him. It's still, we stand with him because of God. And you know, one of the things that we know in Christ, there's always breakthrough. Even if it's dark, even if it's difficult, we know there's breakthrough because Christ in us. He is the hope of glory. And I want to bless your week, that you will have a wonderful week in the presence of God, so that we will take every experience that we go through and go through with Jesus. Don't do it alone and just tell him tonight about your life. Experience your life with Christ. My dear friend, have a blessed day, and God bless you till we speak tomorrow.